Good morning on this Tuesday, the 17th of November. And the scene behind me is Freshwater Creek and running through a place called Gumbara Park, just off the Western Arterial Highway in Cairns. The park, if you ever get a chance to get into it, is absolutely spectacular. Great place for running the dog, playing a bit of football or cricket, big open paddocks, good parking, great barbecue facilities, change rooms. There's places to swim, and the playground stuff absolutely spectacular. And just across the river to this side, there's actually a walking track that continues right up the creek behind me. I was here for my granddaughter's birthday party, and they're actually on canoes behind me, paddling up with quite a few of their friends. Because we're in a river, and this is much smaller than the one I'm about to talk to, I thought I'd share the reading from Exodus 2 for today, and begins at verse 1, and it's the beginning of a very, very familiar and powerful story. So it's during the time of oppression of the people in Egypt prior to the Exodus. During this time, a man from the tribe of Levi married a woman of his own tribe, and she bore him a son. When she saw what a fine baby he was, she hid him for 3 months. Remember, Pharaoh required that all male Hebrew boys were to be executed. But when she could not hide him any longer, she took a basket made of reeds, covered it with tar to make it watertight. She put the baby in it and placed it in the tall grass at the edge of the river. And the baby's sister stood some distance away to see what would happen to him. And the king's daughter came down to the river to bathe, while the servants walked along the bank. Suddenly, she noticed the basket in the tall grass and sent a slave woman to get it. The princess opened it and saw a baby boy. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister asked her, "Shall I go get a Hebrew woman to nurse the baby for you?" "Please do," she answered, and the girl went and bought the baby's own mother. The princess told the woman, "Take this baby, nurse him for me, and I'll pay you." So she took the baby and nursed him. Later, when the child was old enough, she took him to the king's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. And she said to herself, "I pulled him out of the water, and so I will name him Moses." And I've got a footnote here which says the name Moses sounds like a Hebrew for pull out. I'm not sure about that. But here we are, from small beginnings, the most unexpected thing. God begins a story of the salvation of his people. A story that's repeated in Jesus, of course. That the story begins with the baby, the most helpless of human beings. One who's going to be killed, due to be killed, as Jesus was, is miraculously saved. And, just the events. It's quite obvious that Pharaoh's daughter did not share the harshness of her father and took pity. I think you would have to be fairly silly not to twig what was really going on in the background. But at the same time, Moses has given a start on life which was beyond anything he could have expected, and became a way for him, prepared the road for him to lead the people, in spite of his mistakes, and he made quite a few serious ones. So where is it that God's bringing you from? Many of us do have humble beginnings. Whether it's with a poor family, broken family, it's a disadvantaged community. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you start. It's what is God going to make of you. I encourage you to just make yourself available to God. And God will somehow make you everything that you can and should be in Him. I am sure that Moses' mum had no idea. She had no idea what was going to happen. The most likely outcome for Moses was he was going to become lunch for a crocodile. But that didn't happen. And the prayer of the people for their salvation, God honours and heals and brings them by many miracles to a place that they can call their own. And Moses is the forerunner of Christ, the baby who comes and could not by any natural thing be the man that he became, suffering an ignoble death and bringing us to a place of glory in the very throne room, the very presence of the royalty of God. That is the life we're called to and we're promised. And the way the throne room, the way that this wall's decorated, this beauty is more than what human hands could produce. So enjoy what God, the setting that God's put us in. Rejoice in the new life that God